sold immediately, regardless of cost or loss.
Casey's going out of business. Liquidation sale is going on now.
It's a sale you don't want to miss.
The following is a special presentation of TNN Motorsports. It's time to fire the engines as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series drivers begin the second half of the 1999 championship campaign. It's the Jiffy Lube 300 shifting into high gear. The Jiffy Lube 300 is on the air on TNN Motorsports. A flyby as part of the pre-race activities here at New Hampshire International Speedway in the beautiful skies over Loudon. It's a magnificent day. Temperature in the 70s. A crowd exceeding 93,000 fans on hand for this, the start of the second half of the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup season. So many stories to talk about, but one of the major stories is the injury bug. We've touched on it in the pre-race show, but it certainly is bearing to be repeated here today. Mark Martin hobbling Steve Burns, to say the very least.
Boy, Eli, you're exactly right. He got hurt in that practice accident at Daytona a week ago Friday. He has a hairline fracture of his left wrist. His ribs are banged up and sore. And just Wednesday night, he found out that he would have to have knee surgery. Arthroscopic surgery was performed on Wednesday evening. It takes 2 crew members to get Mark into the car. But you know the worst thing is right now, he's frustrated and angry. He doesn't feel like he's 100%. And anytime Mark Martin climbs in a race car, he wants to go to the front. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Hey, thanks, Steve. The other story that we're talking about now concerns the Roush camp also. Jeff Burton is the has won this race 2 times in a row now. He first won it in 1997, tears of joy from his wife, Kim. Then he came back in 1998, and he absolutely dominated this event, just beat these guys all to pieces. Now, he didn't first win in Winston Cup here. He won in 1992 in a Busch Series car, so he loves this racetrack. He doesn't know why he's so good on it. He just is, but he loves racing here. But if he's going to make it 3 in a row, today he's got to do it from way back. He starts 38th, had to take another provisional. But let's look at some interesting figures here about Jeff Burton starting in the back. When he starts in the top 15, his average finish is 14.5. But when he starts outside the top 15, that average finish zooms all the way up to 4.7, excuse me. That is incredible. He has done it before. He did it last week at Daytona. He started 37th, finished 3rd. If he's going to do it again today, he's starting in that prime spot of 38th. He may be able to get back to the front once more from the rear. It's tough here at Loudon. There's a lot of traffic, not much room to pass. But if anybody can do it, Jeff Burton can. Here's Roush Shaheen.
Well, Jeff Gordon has won the Bud Pole here at New Hampshire. Now, remember, this is the car and the driver that took on 2 tires at the end of a race just a couple of years ago to win this race. Will they do it here later on today? We're just going to have to wait and find out.
The fans arrived here early, and as kudos are due to the local police departments of Loudon and Canterbury and the state troopers. Highway 106 was clear of traffic by 11:40 this morning. Everybody's in their seats. We hope you're comfortable as well. We're back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Jeff Burton with an exciting message for NASCAR fans. Buy any Exide NASCAR Select product and get a Motorola pager free. It's a great way to enter the Exide NASCAR Select 99 sweepstakes. Every month you'll be paged with another chance to win cool prizes. You could even win $50,000 and be an honorary member of the Exide Racing Team Pit Crew for the first race of the next century. Look for details wherever Exide NASCAR Select is sold.
Oh, wait, man, I gotta find a phone.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. Ford Country, look at that truck. Ford Country, built Ford tough. Ford Country, when the work gets done. Ford Country, the whole world's Ford Country.
While there are a lot of places where people buy parts for their car, the fact is more people choose AutoZone than any other. It's because we're the largest auto parts retailer in America, and they save money with our everyday low price. It's because more often than not, we have the parts they need in stock. And it's because we're the only place where they'll find a battery that's backed by a 3-year free replacement guarantee. Which is why we say there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Rock and roll! We love you!
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. See store for details.
TNN Motorsports live coverage from the New Hampshire International Speedway is brought to you today by Exide NASCAR Select, the official automotive battery of NASCAR. By Ford, the official truck of NASCAR is built Ford tough. By the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil, add more life to your car. Welcome back to New Hampshire. Time now for the AutoZone race analysis, brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. You saw some of the numbers. There are the numbers pertaining to this racetrack. It truly is a grown-up Martinsville. 2 long drag strip-like straightaways, couple of very tight turns with limited banking. NASCAR racing has been here since 1990 for the NASCAR Cup Series. It's been a long time, and we've seen this racetrack grow up so very, very nicely. Buddy Baker joins us on the telecast. I'm Eli Gold. Glad you're alongside with us today. Buddy, what do we talk about first? Tire strategy, pit strategy, flat track, injuries. What's the biggest story here?
All of them. And when you're really thinking about this race, coming down to that last pit stop and doing the right thing, getting that track position, that is so important in this race. And everybody knows that they have to make the correct thing all day long. You have to have great track position. So it's very important to stay up front.
What I have found interesting, and Dick Bergman, I know you want to comment as well, guys like Bobby Hamilton really had trouble in practice. Then yesterday, final practice, they're running third fast. You got to get a hold of this racetrack.
Yeah, you do have to get a hold of this racetrack, and the thing that makes it especially difficult to do so is that this racetrack changes. Jeremy Mayfield maybe said it best when he explained that no matter what the racetrack is like at the beginning of this event, it will be different at the end. So you're going to see drivers search for the right line, crews trying tire strategies, adjusting their race cars as they search for the moving target that is the fast way around New Hampshire International.
And by the way, folks, who do you think is going to lead going into turn 1? Which Earnhardt? The daddy or the son? They're starting side by side. And that Budweiser car with Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's got one of our onboard cameras with you today. And by the way, if you want to see the onboard camera look or any of the scanner talk, TNNracing.com. That's available to you right now on the World Wide Web. So log on, keep the dial right here, and we'll go racing together. Coming up next.
If you don't get AC Delco brand name parts, you'd better get a good brand name shoe. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
No matter what you drive or what it needs, ask for dependable AC Delco automotive parts. They're the ones I rely on. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
Ever since Mobil 1 came along, other oil companies have tried to copy it to make a synthetic of their own. But if you take a look at how a copycat performs after some hard miles and compare it to new Mobil 1, it's obvious that all synthetics aren't alike. Today's Mobil 1 is tri-synthetic. It won't sludge up on you. It'll actually make your engine run smoother. The other stuff, not in my car.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving. When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks. The crisp you can't resist.
A beautiful view from overhead the New Hampshire International Speedway. It measures just over 1 mile around, 1.058 miles to be exact. You see the crowd approaching 100,000, and it's been a spectacular weekend already, and we're glad to cap it off on a beautiful 70-degree day here in the Granite State. There is the man who won the Bud Pole. That is Jeff Gordon, 6th pole of the year, 2nd straight here at New Hampshire International Speedway. He stops on the track. He's tightening up the seat belts right now to make sure he's ready to go. Why don't we see who is lined up behind him in the starting lineup? Behind the Bud Pole winner, Gordon, you've got Rusty Wallace, who won the inaugural race here back in 1993 for the Winston Cup teams. Bobby Labonte with 2 wins this year, and Ken Schrader, who's always in the top 5 here at New Hampshire. Kyle Petty, 3 8th-place finishes here, and Kenny Wallace, top 10 in both races in 1998. John Andretti, 3rd place the last time we raced here, and Michael Waltrip. Dale Jarrett, the Daytona winner, and Tony Stewart. And you know, guys, as we look at this starting lineup, every name we mention here, they all told me this morning, we can win, we can win. Everyone, we're going to have 40 guys in victory lane when this day is done.
I even walked down to Kenny Wallace's pits, and I said, how are you guys set up today? And they said, we have the fastest car here. Tony Stewart's group said, we have the fastest car. Everybody's flying around this racetrack.
There you see Mike Skinner, 5th place at last year's event here in July. And Ernie Irvin. Ward Burton, his best New Hampshire finish is 23rd. He's like to figure this place out a little bit. Kenny Irwin, he's gone to a different chassis, the Hopkins chassis, just like Dale Jarrett has.
Well, there are a bunch of people that have tried different things for this race, and it's going to be kind of fun to watch and see which one of these experiments is the one that works the best.
You see Benson and Bickle. Jimmy Spencer from Pennsylvania, and the veteran Dick Trickle. His car has got the Kodiak sponsorship on it here this weekend because when David Green failed to qualify, the Kodiak folks hopped on board Dick Trickle's car. Elliott Sadler, Dave Blaney's 2nd Winston Cup race of 1999 for Bill Davis Racing. The brothers Bodine, and now back at 37th and 38th, Mark Martin, 2nd place in both races last year. And of course, Jeff Burton, who won the last couple. Bill Elliott's going to have to go to the way back. He's already in 40th. He's going to have to start 43rd. He's gone to the backup car after wrecking the primary car here in 2nd round qualifying yesterday.
So many fast cars, so many drivers with a good track record here in New Hampshire starting in the back of the field today. It's going to be fun watching them come through.
Then there are these guys who'd love to be starting in the back of the field, but regretfully did not qualify at all. Derek Hope, David Green, Dave Marcus, and 2nd race in a row, Robert Presley, also failing to qualify. We've got a ton of folks giving us rides around New Hampshire today. There you see Bill Elliott, and again, he'll start. He was supposed to have a different paint scheme on the car, but when he wrecked that car, they couldn't paint up the backup, so he's in the familiar McDonald's car. There you see Jeff Burton, who'll give us the ride from 38th starting spot. Be interesting to see Mark Martin and see what he does if he looks or acts any differently in the race car today. Dave Blaney, he was struggling on Friday, but got the car sorted out nicely and is solidly in the field. Kenny Irwin has the Texaco Haviland machine. Mike Skinner has the Lowe's car, starting in 19th. Yep, Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to give us a ride around here. Goodness, he looks like some guy I know.
Open face helmet, just like that.
And Bobby Labonte has the Circuit City Interstate batteries on board camera. Now the Texaco Haviland point recap, brought to you by Texaco, a world of energy. That's how it looks going into the race. 177 points. You heard Jeff Gordon tell Steve, I believe it was earlier in the pre-race, 394. Yeah, mathematically he can catch up, and it's going to be awfully, awfully tough. You never know. We'll all find out together. Glad you're tuned in, folks, on TNN Motorsports. 300 laps, 317.4 miles in the Jiffy Lube 300. Green flag. Little bump and go there, middle of the field, as Jeff Gordon leads them to the stripe and will lead lap number 1. Jeff has now led all but one race in the history of New Hampshire International Speedway, and he is the all-time lap leader at this racetrack. He has led 475 laps coming in to today's Jiffy Lube 300.
You can see Rusty Wallace just a second ago going back and forth down the straightaway trying to get a little heat in these tires because the air pressure is very essential in these cars to make them work well. He was trying to scrub a little bit of heat into the tires so the air pressure would get up properly.
Dale Earnhardt in the 3. That's the scramble for 11th spot right now, along with the 55 of Kenny Wallace. Steve Park in the 1. Steve Park has the distinction of having run a race here in every single major NASCAR Touring Series, as you see the scramble for second place.
Rusty Wallace car right now is running a little bit higher than the Bobby Labonte car as they start off the corner there. You can see what a great grip, though, that Rusty Wallace got as he got back in the throttle.
Rusty Wallace has a win here and 7 top 10s in 8 races. As you see a couple of the young guns, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Park swapping spots around. That is going to be up there at 11th spot right now.
Trouble.
Kenny Wallace and Sterling Marlin, they both got themselves held together. That was back in 14th and 15th position.
Sterling on the high side right now. You can see Skinner on the bottom side there. Just a little touch to let him know he's there.
Oh, Sterling's all over the place.
Kenny Wallace was lucky to save that thing. Yeah. He got it right out there.
Wally Dolly back in the 25 on the right part of the racetrack going in and making some spots there.
And he bumps Ernie out of the way.
Hope that doesn't make Ernie too mad.
Yeah, that makes me wonder where they get the idea that racing is not a contact sport.
Yeah.
That's why they put bumpers on it.
Excuse me.
Look at that again. And Sterling Marlin with a touch there. And Terry Labonte sizing them up. And you know, so far that outside groove, at least at the moment, hanging tough there. It's not the desirable way around, but the guys seem to be getting a pretty good grip.
Riding with Kenny Irwin Jr. down the back straightaway, and just on the left there, Terry Labonte. And Sterling's still struggling on the high side of the racetrack.
A little early in the race to be upstairs. A little later on, they'll run higher, but right now that upstairs groove's not fully worked in yet. But is it just me or an awful lot of people being excessively aggressive early on?
Well, they're trying to get track position. We talked about that in the open. As you see, Kenny Irwin almost getting in the back of Sterling Marlin in the middle of 2, and you don't want to get touched there. The car is very light in the back there. If it had made contact there, Sterling would have went around.
That is 18th, 19th, and 20th on your screen. Riding with Kenny Irwin in the 20th spot.
Eli, the reason they're so aggressive, I didn't touch on it quite yet. They want to get up near the front. You see that, I mean, right now Mark Martin's hanging on outside there, and he has to be in a little bit of pain right now. His knee's injured. He also broke a rib this week when he was coming in to take a plug check. A lot of contact there also. He was coming in the pit area. He shut the motor off, turned the power steering off. He turned hard left and cracked the rib on the right side.
Unbelievable. He goes by Darrell Waltrip. You saw the 66, an orange, blue, and white car going backwards. So Mark Martin is now in 38th spot. Jeff Burton is up to 35th position as we ride with Mark Martin.
And for those of you who wonder if Mark Martin can get it done while he's driving hurt, I will let you know that he indeed can. Back in 1980 when he was running in the ASA, he started a race at Milwaukee with 2 broken ankles and managed to win the race despite the pain that he was in. Second has just gone away.
So Bobby Labonte with John Andretti now behind him, and you see Rusty Wallace kind of caught to the outside there. Steve Burns, are they hearing anything on the radio from Mark?
Eli, just before the race started, Mark Martin radioed his team and said, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me through this. I'm frustrated about it. I want to be better. I think the car is better than me, but he apologized and thanked his team. He said, I'll be much better by Pocono, but as you guys said, he'll do everything he can to get to the front today.
Matt Kenseth is here as a backup standby driver, but Matt told me at the hotel, he said, I'll be surprised if I do any racing.
I would be too. Mark Martin's just a tough individual. He's in perfect health other than the injuries that he has. He works out every day, so if anybody can go with injuries, it's certainly Mark Martin.
Just underway. We are 10 laps in. Jeff Gordon leads by 1 2/10 seconds here at New Hampshire International Speedway. As the Tony Stewart crew looks on, their driver is now 8th.
This is revolting.
What's the matter?
They're paying him for this.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Good? You can't even say the name of the product.
He can say it.
What are you talking about?
He's got a thick accent, you know,
Accent?
almost like European.
Hey, Ferret, let me hear you say Bud, nice and clear.
It sounded like Bud.
No, it sounded like...
I think your hearing's going, Louie.
Oh, right. Hey, Ferret, could you lay a little wise on us?
Smooth, like a pro.
Absolutely. What was I thinking?
If this house could talk, it wouldn't tell you about the custom cabinets in each Fleetwood home, but about Coco and heart-to-heart talks. And it wouldn't go on about our wall-to-wall warranty, but about kids growing 2 inches in a year. Because at Fleetwood, we know the quality that counts most in a home is the quality of life inside. Fleetwood Homes, quality for life. Call 1-800-350-2300 for a Fleetwood Homes retailer near you.
I've been everywhere, man, across the deserts, bare, man.
If the technology in SuperGuard motor oil can protect these high-performance engines, imagine how it'll perform in your new Ford Taurus SHO. Visit our website, Citgo.com, and you could win a 1999 Ford Taurus SHO or one of 500 other valuable prizes when you play the SuperGuard Online 500 Racing Challenge. Register to win at Citgo.com.
I've been everywhere.
Lots of stresses. Motors are running hotter. Everything's fuel injected. Filters have got to be tougher. Oh, all these SUVs and trucks towing things.
And pressure.
Oh, enormous pressure. Purelator test for hydrostatic burst, PSI load, impulse pressure fatigue, everything. Oh, but that's not enough. Every single Purelator filter is tested during production, too.
That's why I use Purelator filters on all my cars, even the race car. We've learned something from all this racing.
Pure oil now, pure oil later, Purelator.
Welcome back to New Hampshire. We want to take a moment to let everybody know that TNN Motorsports offers official NASCAR merchandise, including the latest die-cast cars and your favorite drivers. To order any of the outstanding NASCAR merchandise, just call toll-free 877-TNN-1999. So do give that number a call and all the items can be yours. Hey, look who's running well. Kyle Petty all the way up to 4th while we ride with Bobby Labonte right now in the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte right now is a little bit quicker, but this is a story right now. The 2 Petty cars are running so very well right now. John Andretti, of course, in the 43 there. Just behind him, Kyle Petty having one of his best runs of the year.
John has gone from 7th spot where he started at 3rd position right now. He's having a great day. Both those cars are set up very similar, one to the other.
Meanwhile, the Earnhardt clan, Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in 12th. His daddy running in 15th. We're with Earnhardt Jr. now. Closing in on Steve Park, doing a very solid job early. He is, Ralph Shaheen.
You know, Eli, I talked to Steve Neal, who heads up the research and development part of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. I said, Steve, was that an introduction or an education for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in those opening couple laps? It was pretty wild out there. He started the lap. He said, yeah, one car wanted to go fast, one car wanted to go slow. He said, well, we got him straightened out and calmed down. Now we're going to pace him to the finish.
Thoughts on Dale Earnhardt Jr. There you see the scrambling elsewhere. Michael Waltrip in the 7, Ricky Craven in the 50. There you see 3rd and 4th now behind the leaders Gordon and Labonte. John Andretti 1 and 7/10 seconds back. That's what the interval looks like on the racetrack from Labonte back to Andretti. 1 and 7/10 seconds. 1,500-foot straightaway and hard on the brake pedal. Were you tough on the brakes when you drove, buddy?
Eli, I had a guy tell me you could put me on an anvil at 12 and I'd have it broke by 2.
So you would not have done well at New Hampshire, huh?
No, I actually won at Martinsville.
I know you did.
The reason I won there is they just absolutely detuned the car and told me I had to save the brakes or I would never win. As we have a change for the lead as Bobby Labonte takes over first.
So Bobby Labonte here at lap number 20 takes over the top spot from Jeff Gordon. There's a look back from Labonte towards Gordon.
Great camera angle there. That's actually under the rear of the car there, and you're looking back as Gordon comes in. Look how much lean you have in the springs on the right front of that car. Letting that weight transfer over so it'll get a bite on that right front tire.
What a great year Bobby Labonte has had. This will be the 16th race he's led, and this is just the 18th race of the season so far. Certainly one of the best seasons he could ever even hope for.
Bobby Labonte has finished in the top 5 in 8 of the last 10 races, Glenn, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised he's running up front and leading.
Oh, no, Eli, and especially not in this car. The last time we saw this car on TNN was at Pocono. That's when he won the race up there. They love this race car. Bobby says it's one of his favorites. Not surprising at all. See that race car running up front. It is a good one.
Spread is 0.3 of a second right now. Well, Gordon does seem to close, you see there coming off the corner, but Andretti and Kyle Petty are really closing on him.
Great run for these two cars that you're looking at right now. John Andretti in the 43 and the 44 there. Kyle Petty, both of them running exactly in the tire tracks of each other.
Now let's go a little further back because Kenny Schrader and Rusty Wallace having a good battle too. Schrader in the blue 33, the blue number 2 is Rusty, and the 20 is Tony Stewart. That's 5, 6, and 7th place on the screen.
Keep your eye on that number 20 car. Walking around the garage this morning, I asked many crew chiefs, who are you most concerned about? And the name I heard more than any other was Tony Stewart. A lot of the guys in the garage who are really in the know think that's the best car, and they think Tony Stewart is due to be a first-time winner today.
Although, as we heard on the pre-race, too, he totally discounts his IRL experience. Other than, yeah, he's been around this racetrack, but the machines are so totally different.
Yeah, and he only ran 3 RL races here, and he led the most laps in all 3 and won one of them, blew up in another one while he was way out in front. I mean, this guy is terrific at New Hampshire, no matter what kind of car he's in.
And Ralph, Tony was not lacking any confidence in the garage this morning.
Eli, earlier in the week, Dale Earnhardt ran up into Tony Stewart's trailer trying to find what he calls the kid. The crew said, well, he's not here, Dale. He's at the rookie meeting. Earnhardt cracked that devilish grin of his and said, whose idea of a joke was it anyway to call this guy a rookie?
Hey, you remember when A.J. Foyt went to the rookie meeting at Darlington a number of years ago? You all look at that.
When you talk about a rookie, though, he just put Rusty Wallace away on the low side coming off turn 2 and really has quite a lead going here on Rusty in just one straightaway.
So there you see the separation now between Stewart and Wallace, while up front you've got Bobby Labonte showing the way by a half second on Jeff Gordon. Still early, 26 laps in. Crew waits for pit stop time.
There's something about a Wendy's classic double with cheese.
I'd have made the same choice.
It's hamburger bliss.
Platinum Plus 4. 4 electrodes. Pure platinum. Take your engine to a higher power. Bosch Platinum Plus 4.
Experience the sounds of NASCAR Rocks. This summer, join CBS as NASCAR hits the road with concerts featuring today's hottest performers. Feel the rush of NASCAR Rocks.
The Myrtle Beach 250, Saturday night on TNN.
Okay, Bobby, what do you want for dinner?
I want pizza. No, wait. I want chicken. No, I want broccoli.
You want broccoli.
No, I want cherry cobbler.
Now at Golden Corral, your kids can have just about anything they can imagine for just $2.99.
I want mashed potatoes.
Really?
With gummy bears.
Even if it is a little odd.
Zero, zip, zilch, nada. That's all you need to drive home in your like new car today here at Hampton Road's fastest growing Pontiac dealer, Hampton Pontiac on Mercury Boulevard. Hey, we didn't pay full price for these GM program cars, and you won't either. Your choice. 98 Buick Skylarks are Olds Achievas loaded with equipment from 10-7 or 0 down, $199 a month. Loaded up 98 Buick Centuries from $13,958 or 0 down, $259 a month. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. Just dial Pontiac. Hampton Pontiac, your used car superstore on Mercury Boulevard.
Welcome back to New Hampshire, where Bobby Labonte continues to lead, took over the top spot at lap number 20, and has now stretched his lead by roughly 7/10 of a second here in the early going. While we have an opportunity, want to say hello to this gentleman. Ted Williams has joined us as the Grand Marshal of the Jiffy Lube 300, one of the ultimate all-time greatest athletes in the history of this country. And I say that as a lifelong New York Yankee fan, but even we in Brooklyn and the Bronx appreciated what you did in your days of baseball playing. This is something, though, here today, isn't it?
You bet it is. You know, I've never been a auto racing buff. Never had the chance to be someplace. But today, I'm doing a quick conversion because those cars went down below me on their way the first lap. And I backed up, and I thought, gee, this might be it. Boy, this is exciting. This is really exciting.
I see that your name yesterday was on board Kenny White's car, the Kid, as they call him up here, as a sponsor in Busch North Series competition. How did that come about?
Well, I know they're great cars, and I mean, everybody's conscious of the fact that's a great group. Of course, they had a young rider in all this mix, and I didn't know whether how to wish him luck or be careful or what, you know. But I finally decided in my own mind, I just hope that I can see him on his 10th and 20th races after he's made a really a little bit of history.
Tony Stewart just moving up into 4th spot, as you see, while we visit with the splendid splinter Ted Williams. This is a magnificent week for sports in general here in New England. Not only is NASCAR in town, but of course Fenway Park hosts what I guess will likely be its final all-star game, with talk of a new Fenway Park around the corner. But this is a special time up here in New England.
Well, the whole week with the baseball fanfare, in my case, first time seeing this thrilling, exciting bit of sports, and I can just tell you that this is a full week for me.
Well, listen, it's great to have you here. I know the fish are biting at home, so enjoy yourself on the water as well. Ted Williams, thanks so much for being up here with us. The legendary Ted Williams, Baseball Hall of Famer. They don't get any better than this fella right here. And Buddy Baker, I know this is a guy who we have all thrilled in watching, and the ovation that Ted got today in pre-race activities rivaled the ovation that anybody got here at this racetrack.
You're exactly right, and race fans do appreciate people of all sports, and it's really nice to have you here.
Jeff Burton's moving forward. He's already managed to get himself in the 25th spot after having to start all the way back at a provisional starting spot for this race. They just flat missed the setup in qualifying, worked on the car, threw a whole bunch of stuff at it today, hoping that they would get faster. They have.
You're exactly right. Kenny Wallace looked in the mirror and said, "You're so much quicker than me, I'll just pull over and let you go until I adjust on my car." That's Hut Strickland in the 58 also going by Kenny as they go down in the corner.
New driver for that car, Hut Strickland is. There you see the NASCAR timing and scoring rundown brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. Steve, what are you hearing from the 99 bunch?
Eli, crew chief Frankie Stoddard has been talking to Jeff Burton. And, you know, I guess patience is the hardest thing for a race car driver. But Frankie is telling Jeff Burton, take your time. You've got a good race car under you. Just take your time getting to the front. And as Jeff Burton said before the race, 300 laps doesn't sound like much, but it's a long time. So, again, Frankie trying to preach patience to Jeff Burton.
As we're riding with Jeff Burton, you can see he's fast in the corner. He pulls up on Ricky Rudd just in front there in the 10 car. And down the straightaway, all these cars are so evenly matched that it's very, very hard to get that preferred line unless Ricky really slips or he gets an idea that he's much quicker as he looks at Jeff in the mirror and lets him go. It's very hard to make the pass.
Let's remember how good Ricky Rudd is on the miles. Of his 20 wins, 8 of them have come on mile tracks. One of them here in 1994.
You wonder if this day is hot enough for Ricky, because he's really good when it gets hot and slick out there. And we're in the 70s. It may still be a day where Ricky can get to victory lane, but he loves those real slick tracks.
Exactly. And you talk about turning the heat up. Look at Bobby Labonte now as he moves up on Bill Elliott to put him a lap down this early in the event.
That's the 42nd place runner, Bill Elliott. And again, he was to have debuted a new paint scheme on the car, but when he wrecked his primary car yesterday in the second round of Bud Pole qualifying, they had to roll out the backup and just had no time to change the decals and the paint job. There you see Jeff Gordon. He is now 1 6/10 seconds back. Then John Andretti running in third in the number 43 car.
Look at Tony Stewart, the 20 car there. He is moving up through this crowd like they're waiting on him. This car is probably the quickest, without a doubt. I'm looking at the speeds around the racetrack. He is the fastest car on the speedway, and you can see why. It gets down in the corner right on the yellow line. When he picks the throttle up, this thing just flies down the straightaway.
And look at Andretti go. He'll grab second place.
Well, we promised some passing, and you're seeing it.
And we don't want to say we told you so, but,
yeah, but
Dale Earnhardt Jr. problems early. Only lap 42. Lap 42, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in for an unscheduled stop.
He's got a little donut in the door.
And all the way down near the end of the pit lane is where he stops. Ralph, what's the deal?
Well, Eli, they brought the car in. They're going underneath the left side of the car, putting a jack stand out as well, looking just behind the left rear wheel. No word yet from the crew and the right rear as well to see what is going on. Dale Jr. is saying that it will not run it all down the straightaway, that he thinks it's binding up somewhere in the transmission is the way it feels to him. They're going to send him back out and try to find out what the situation is with the car.
I would have made him spin the wheels going out of the pit road there just to see that both wheels were working properly. A lot of times you'll break a ratchet as positive traction rear end in these cars, and if you have some problem back there, if they don't smoke both tires, you know you have a problem in the gear.
There you see the spread from Labonte back 1.8 seconds to John Andretti. Tony Stewart in that orange number 20. He is running in third. Then Jeff Gordon and Kyle Petty. That is your top 5. There you see Gordon closing back in. He's 2.6 seconds back of Labonte right now. And again, Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming back in. Now what, Ralph?
Well, Eli Jr.'s been radioing in, saying that it's only turning about 7,000 RPM. Tony Eury Sr. just asked him, do you think it's the engine? He says, no, I'm not sure. He said, but it just feels like it's binding up. They're going to go under the hood now and check the spark plug wires. They don't see any smoke, so they're going to have to check inside the engine compartment now and see if a plug wire maybe has come loose or what the problem is. This is going to give them an opportunity to maybe put some gas in the car as well. They missed that on the last stop. Tony Eury Sr. was furious over that because if they can keep running around, they can at least continue to put laps in and maybe get themselves in a better pit strategy.
course, they are already 4 laps down as the leaders go past the pit lane again. What should they be turning RPM-wise here, buddy?
Oh, they probably turned 9,000 into the straightaway here, and you need that much gear in it to slow down to get in these tight corners.
So when you're turning 7,000 RPMs, you got yourself a problem. No problem, though, for Bobby Labonte's bunch. He's up comfortably in the early going of the Jiffy Lube 300.
Is there anything else, an only real thing to do? Anything else I need except cold and you? No, there's nothing else I'll do besides Coca-Cola. There's only you.
Play Coca-Cola Red Hot Summer Days, and you can win great prizes all summer, including a new Ford Explorer XLT Sport. Drink in the summer. Drink Coca-Cola.
This dog can't tell the difference between a radiator hose and a bone. Other dogs, perhaps, but not this one. That's why at Advance Auto Parts, it's our job to carry over 1 million parts. So we'll always have the parts you need, just in case you run into this dog, or one like him.
Brought to you by LA West Luxury Vans. Available at select dealerships nationwide. Call for a free video. 800-786-VANS. Radio communications are provided by Racing Radios. For all of your radio communications needs as well as scanners, call on Racing Radios at 1-800-669-1522. And by Featherlight, the official trailer of NASCAR, CART, IRL, NHRA, ASA, and World of Outlaws. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer and motor coach needs at 800-800-1230.
1,000 feet overhead, New Hampshire International Speedway. The Bud 1 airship is here. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. Always a fixture at NASCAR Winston Cup Series races. Just joining us, we're early in the Jiffy Lube 300. It began at roughly 1:15 Eastern Time, and quickly the bumping began. Kenny Wallace, Sterling Marlin, they got together. But it wasn't enough. The little family feud, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his dad with a little bump and go there. But after leading for 19 laps, it was Jeff Gordon yielding the lead to Bobby Labonte. That move on lap number 20, and Labonte has led for the last 32 revolutions around the New Hampshire International Speedway. Welcome back, everybody. As you see Bobby Labonte on the green number 18, beginning to close in now on the 97 of Chad Little. He's at 36th spot. He'll be going a lap down. Also Dave Blaney in 35th in that red, white, and blue Amoco car. He's about to go a lap down. And there's Tony Stewart just going into turn 1, taking the position from Andretti. So second place now for Tony Stewart. He has picked up 8 spots in the early going.
I know that Joe Gibbs has to be just delighted with his 2 cars, first and second in the race right now. Tony Stewart, you made a comment a while ago about him being a rookie. Well, he's a rookie, but he's a 3-time champion also in other divisions. So what he's doing out here is incredible, though, with the little bit of time he has in Western Cup cars.
And Bobby Labonte making the move around the lap machines. Watch this here. Last lap, Chad Little bumping Bobby Labonte out of the way.
Trying to stay on the lead lap.
Try to do all you can, but it didn't work. It did for a short while, but now Chad Little is back a lap down, as you see, with Dick Trickle in that white and aqua car. Also there in the picture very briefly. He's running in 37th spot right back there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is taking his car to the garage area now. Steve Burns, can they fix it?
Let's find out, Eli. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has just climbed out of the car. Dale, are you done for the day? Can you get back in the race? What's wrong?
I don't know. We'll have to figure out what's wrong with it first before we know whether we can get back out there or not. Just running around there, running okay. We had a real tight car, and I was just trying to wait till we got some tires and make some changes. I figured maybe we had another 15th place or better in the car, and it just started tightening up. Something was tightening up in the car. Wouldn't turn but 7,000 RPMs down the straightaway. That's 2,000 less than we need to be turning. So something's wrong. I ain't gonna speculate what, but something in the drivetrain or maybe somewhere around in there, binding up and just killing the speed on the car. Can't just, ain't no point going right around. We might fix and get out there right around. We might not. We got nothing to gain. We get back out there other than just valuable time and as far as the driver, but I was just sad to see how good a mood Tony's in.
Tony, of course, being Tony Uri, who will have to orchestrate those repairs, whatever those repairs might need to be. We are 57 laps in to the 300. You see Ricky Rudd in the number 10 machine. He and Rich Bickle in that purple car, and then Ted Musgrave behind them in that green and yellow machine. They're running 27th, 28th, and 29th, respectively. A lot of guys are going to be making some chassis tweaks when they come in here soon.
Well, that's the nature of this racetrack. It does move around on people and try to adjust that race car, dial it in. They do it with tire pressures and all sorts of stuff they can do on pit stops.
While we watch these guys, remember Rusty Wallace, there he is. He has dropped now back to 10th position, Glenn. He's gone from 6th to 8th to 10th. What's the story?
Eli, Rusty's car is very, very loose. They've been talking about it on the radio for the last 20 or 30 laps. Rusty keeps saying the car gets worse and worse. He at one point in time had fallen about 9.5 seconds back, but he's actually picked up a little time here recently. I think Bobby Labonte has slowed down just a little bit, but Rusty's car is very loose, and he is one of those guys that will make a major change whenever that first pit stop rolls along here in the next 20 or 30 laps.
That is PC11, the car that Rusty is driving. It's only raced at Martinsville, where it started 5th, led the most laps, and finished 7th, as Ted Musgrave in the 75 tries and grab 28th away from Ricky Rudd.
Ricky right now can't keep his car down. He's losing quite a few positions. Rich Bickle passed him about 3 laps ago and now has almost half a straightaway on him.
Johnny Benson in the 26 spun his car in morning practice on Friday, but no problems otherwise. Been a very incident-free weekend, actually. All the way from that battle, we move up front to the lead, where Bobby Labonte has 0.3 of a second on Tony Stewart, as Stewart works traffic inside of Rick Mast's machine. It looked as though Labonte was getting hung up behind the Jeremy Mayfield car right there, the number 12.
Well, they're all fighting to stay in the lead lap if they possibly can, but Tony Stewart is just gaining on Bobby Labonte every lap around the racetrack, even though there is traffic, the same amount of traffic for Tony Stewart. I think Tony has a quicker car right now. It's down to 2 car lengths as they go through turn 3.
33rd place, going a lap down right there. That's Jeremy Mayfield. And Ralph, I don't know how much you can see from the pits, but there's no doubt Tony Stewart's got the quickest car.
He is absolutely flying, Eli. Of course, our view is just a front straightaway, but I've been up on the pit box talking to Greg Zipadelli, his crew chief. I asked him how the car is handling. He said just a little bit tight. I'm pretty happy with it. Then I asked him how similar is the setup between Tony's and Bobby Labonte, his teammate and race leader. He said extremely different.
And of course, driving styles are different, so that's not necessarily unusual. You saw Jeffrey Bodine going a lap down, and there goes Stewart outside. Power move, give him the lead. Lap number 64, the 8th race of the year that Tony Stewart has led. And remember, folks, he led the most laps back at Dover. He led 127 here on TNN. That was a big-time move, and look at him pull away.
It was that, and it's nice to have a teammate that you have radio communication with. They know the 20 cars a little bit quicker right now. Bobby Labonte just pulled over and said, go at it.
So Tony Stewart is the 3rd different leader of the Jiffy Lube 300. Greg Zipadelli says, way to go, my friend.
Honey!
Bill!
Think we need a new ceiling fan?
Lowe's knows how to help.
With hundreds of fashionable top-quality fans.
Including the new 1999 models from names like Hunter and Harbor Breeze.
We can even have your fan installed for you.
So with Lowe's guaranteed everyday low prices, making your room beautiful is a breeze. When it comes to ceiling fans, Lowe's knows.
All across America, we're there to see you through. For more than just an oil change, your name is Jiffy Lube.
Racing is hard on cars. Always has been. So is everyday city driving. Jiffy Lube makes it easy to take care of your car, and they offer Pennzoil. Just drive in, drive out, drive on.
We're more than just an oil change your name, but Jiffy Lube. Drive in, drive out, drive on.
Choosing a personal watercraft can be a real test, but Rusty Wallace knows just what he wants. Polaris, when you know what you want. See your local dealer for big savings on select models.
How would you like to call anyone across America for just 8 cents a minute? Well, now you can. Because when you dial 1010-321, it's just 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes. All day, every day. You don't have to switch phone companies. Just dial 1010-321, then 1 and the number. At just 8 cents a minute, now you can stay even closer to the people you want to talk to the most. So remember, to get 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes, just dial 1010-321.
Left turn signal. Right turn signal. Headlights. All right, move it out. It's 2 nights of World of Outlaws Racing on TNN. Welcome back, everybody. Tony Stewart, by 7/10 of a second, leads the Jiffy Lube 300 here at New Hampshire International Speedway. That is 28th place Sterling Marlin, who just now went a lap down. And that's one of the byproducts of caution-free, and we're almost a third of the way into this race, folks. It has flown right by. You don't have cautions. You got a couple of guys hooked up like Stewart and Labonte are. You're going to put half the field a lap down as Jeffrey Bodine comes in for a stop. Jeffrey was lapped a short while ago. He's running 32nd right now, so he decides to come on in at lap number 71 and not go any further back, make the chassis repairs and changes, new tires, and try and get the Power Team Chevy back in gear. So the Joe Bessie-owned entry back on the racetrack as Tony Stewart begins to close in on Ted Musgrave, who's running in 27th spot. Sterling Marlin making a pit stop now, lap number 72. So a lot of these fellows, as they have gone a lap down, electing to make their pit stops.
That's smart. What they're trying to do is put fresh rubber on there, maybe to build up a little bit of advantage. And if they had another caution, they would have those fresh tires on there to run as fast as they possibly can for a certain amount of time before they make the next stop.
NASCAR official Jim Ball looking over that tire change. Jerry Nadeau had high hopes of running well here today. He goes a lap down to the number 9 car, running in 27th position.
He's raced a lot in this area. He's a graduate of Fonda Speedway and Lebanon Valley and the London Waterford Speed Bowl, racetracks that are very familiar to many of the folks sitting in the grandstands here today at New Hampshire.
Nadeau won 3 events here in the Skip Barber Pro Series. Now Jeff Burton, where is he? Well, he has already worked himself up towards 17th position. Look at that. He, Musgrave, Hutch Strickland has moved up, and old Bobby Hamilton picking up 16 spots.
But you know, it's no surprise to see Burton moving forward. He passes race cars. Last time, Pepsi at Daytona, 37th to 3rd. His race in Vegas, where he went 19th to 1st, he's been passing cars all year long.
There you see Jeff Gordon now, having caught John Andretti, the 24 Gordon, the 43 Andretti, around Ricky Rudd. And that is the battle between Andretti and Gordon for 3rd spot.
Yeah, Gordon has a great car. It's just not as great as the first 2 places up in front of him up there. And you see he ran down the John Andretti car. He's much quicker in this part of the racetrack. You can see him close up, getting in. But coming off the corner, the 43 car of John Andretti has great drive forward.
Jeremy Jeremy Mayfield pitting at lap number 75. There you see him. You also see Gordon make the move around John Andretti, grabbing third spot. So Jeff Gordon now moving back up, having won both of the runnings of the CMT 300, the September race here. He's won the last couple of those.
Oh, trouble on the front
Joe
straightaway.
Joe Nemechek here on the main straightaway, just as Rick Mast made a stop at lap 77. Nemechek running in 21st position brings out the first caution flag of the day, lap number 77. It is a timely caution for the leaders who have not made their pit stops and were likely due before too much longer.
John Andretti has a lot of damage. You see these guys here fighting to stay on the lead lap. Ted Musgraves got back in the lead lap there as we go along.
And there you see Nemechek with a good bit of right front, right rear damage on the Bell South Chevy. I'll tell you, still to this day, one of the most thrilling races that this track had ever seen was that NASCAR Busch Series race when Dale Earnhardt and Nemechek got together and they were beating and banging and all, and everybody was standing and hooping and hollering, and it was quite a finish.
1992 was an incredible day.
Boy, this is not going to be an incredible day for him today, though. The right front wheel is really bent in on this car. They're going to have to work on it quite a bit to get him back out there.
Too bad for Joe Nemechek, who made his NASCAR Winston Cup debut here at New Hampshire back in 1993.
Here they come.
All right, here come now the leaders. It'll be lap number 79 when they take the lap on pit road. Of course, the start-finish line extends technically all the way across the racetrack, so the lap count does click off, even with those teams on the pit lane. Stewart, Labonte, Jeff Gordon in on our triple split. Look at pit road. And look at it on the right. Look at that activity up and down pit lane.
A lot of the cars that were almost a lap down are making major changes on the chassis now, trying to get all the weight and balance back into the car to make it handle through the corners.
Look at all those crew guys work. It looks like little red ants in the lawn.
Boy, that was tight coming out.
Dale Earnhardt and Steve Park, his own car, they almost made contact going out of pit road.
All the leaders into pit at lap number 79. Now those who are at least a lap down will be coming in. Tire specialists at work in New Hampshire.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing, that car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. See store for details.
You know, Kenny and I never compare statistics. Or Super Bowls. That way we can drink our Miller Lights without arguing. Right, Mr. Fewer career touchdown passes than me?
Right, Mr. Never Been to the Big One.
We only talk about why Miller Lite tastes great.
It's the choice hops.
No, Snake. Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth. But let's not fight.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be friends.
Table ready for Mr. I don't have as many passing yards as Dan Fouts?
Hey, that's you.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
Napa application engineered brakes can stop you 20 feet shorter than ordinary brakes. That's important. Because you can't always count on there being 20 extra feet of road when you need it. Napa, over 200,000 parts, and every one's important.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, I recommend Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Powerful protection from ferocious odor and wetness that glides on clear with no flaky white stuff.
How far's the female? A good 70 yards, mate.
I've made longer passes than that before. Right guard, clear gel, and clear stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running. And by Gillette Right Guard, Stick, and Clear Gel. Welcome back, everybody. We are back at New Hampshire International Speedway. Jeff Gordon is the race leader, having taken the lead off the pit lane. Why are we under caution? It's for this spin.
Joe Nemechek loses it right at the start-finish line, backs her into the fence, bending up the right side of his race car.
Boy, and Mark Martin just did get by there, and he is injured, so he didn't want to get caught up in that wreck. He just squeezed by.
Lynn Jarrett has seen his brother come into the pit lane lately a couple of times. Dale's been in for unscheduled stops. We'll update that story for you in just a moment or so. And folks, by the way, you can enter the TNN Rev It Up sweepstakes and be a winner. Just tell us who's leading at the halfway point in today's race, and you can win one of 8 grand prize trips to a NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. And that's not all. You'll meet and greet some of the Advance Auto Parts All-Stars like Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, and Wally Dallenbach. It's easy. Just go to your local participating Advance Auto Parts store for an official entry form, or send your name, age, address, phone number, and the answer on a postcard to the TNN Rev It Up Sweepstakes, TNN Station, Post Office Box 3582, Southbury, Connecticut 06488. Or if you'd like, you can enter online at country.com. And the entry deadline for trips to the New Hampshire 300 and the MBNA Gold 400 at Dover, that deadline is August the 29th.
You can see they have all the fender fixed there on the 88. No problem anymore for our points leader.
And he had the fender caved in on the Goodyear tire, but they've gotten that taken care of. And here we go back to green.
Tony Stewart, don't do it. Now you talk about bravery, folks. That's one right there, the bear hunting with the switch. Tony Stewart, I've watched him in midgets, sprint cars, you name it, and he has to be the bravest young man I've ever watched in a race car of any kind.
As close to a natural as we've seen in a long time. He and Jeff Gordon, the late Tim Richmond, a few others are just naturals.
And it's one thing to be brave, it's another to get the job done. I mean, this guy will stick his nose into a place that you'd think there's no way that anybody could possibly do that. You say, what courage? And then all of a sudden, he comes out with the spot, and the car is unbent.
I wouldn't say that too quick. He stuck it nose right up under the 24, Jeff Gordon, as we were talking.
Hey, this guy's a rookie. We're halfway into the season. He doesn't have a DNF this year.
Look at this battle back in the field here, Eli. They're going at it wheel to wheel.
Mike Skinner in the mix of that. That's 10th, 11th spot, riding with Mike Skinner right now. He's got Steve Park ahead of him. The lapped machine. Chad Little, that John Deere green and yellow entry you see on the right. Look at how he skates it, but he gets somewhat out of that groove.
And all of them are waiting for the air pressure to build up in these tires to get exactly the Hamlin package that you want as Mike Skinner moves to the outside of Steve Park going into turn 3.
Now with Kenny Irwin inside of Jerry Nadeau. Kenny went a lap down earlier. He's running in 28th spot.
A lot of conversation again about whether Kenny Irwin is going to be able to hang on to that ride again for the year 2000 season. It just seems to crop up every few weeks. Will Irwin keep his ride? And those conversations are going on again.
Ward Burton working inside of Wally Dallenbach, and you've heard so many different names in the rumor mill. Little contact
Jeff
there.
Burton makes contact there with Wally Dallenbach in the red car on the outside there. He's just following his brother up through there, but there's a lot of contact going on.
That's 12th and 13th. They're running for position. Dallenbach and Burton are.
Dallenbach's running a very aggressive race today. He's tough.
Jerry Nadeau in the 9 on the outside there, the yellow car. Bobby Labonte now has gotten by Tony Stewart.
And Gordon pulling away just a little bit. By 8/10.
And 3 Pontiacs in your picture. Pontiacs have been running up front all day today.
You know, you're watching something right now. There have probably been some changes made on some of these cars, and you can see Tony Stewart right now. I don't know whether the air pressure's down a little bit on his car right now and it's not handling the suiting. Looks like the left rear is very low in air pressure on that car right now, and it does not seem to be working like it was before he made his pit stop.
How much will these guys compromise? How much air pressure will they run low, waiting for it to build up?
Well, what you do, you start off, they'll build up 7, 10, and even 12 pounds a lot of times, depending on the tire itself. If it's the right front, of course, it takes more abuse and it builds up more than, say, the left front that does not have a lot of pressure on it.
89 laps on the board right now. Tony Stewart running in 4th. Jeff Gordon is the race leader. He has 1 8/10 seconds on Stewart. Mid stages of the Jiffy Lube 300.
Maybe these will help.
Sunglasses?
Like the ones Jim West wears in that new Wild Wild West movie.
Now at Burger King, you can get your own pair of Wild Wild West sunglasses from the new action-packed movie for just $1.99 with any tasty Western Whopper value meal.
Who's Jim West? I don't know. What's a movie?
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
In the racing business, the right hardware at the right time can make the difference between winning and losing.
Get the toolbox that rocks at True Value. It's just $24.95 when you spend $20 or more on your Visa card at participating True Value hardware stores.
Your True Value is the official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and homes everywhere.
Davey Allison represented the next generation in a family of racing champions.
Allison goes into the lead.
His end came all too soon. The Life and Times of Davey Allison, Tuesday, part of TNN Hot Summer Nights Month.
Out here, these give you some protection. But in the courtroom, these aren't going to give you any protection. Hi, I'm Mike Joins, and if you've been injured, you need to call Joins McCarry. At Joins McCarry, we're available 24 hours a day. We offer free consultations, and we'll even come to you. Joins McCarry. If you've been injured, we're all the protection you need. If you've been injured, pick up the phone and call us right now. Joins McCarry. Protection you can count on.
Danny's Auto Glass and Mirror. We are your glass company for auto glass repair and replacement, for the installation of maintenance-free vinyl replacement windows, for shower enclosures, and custom mirror installation for the bathroom or any room. At Danny's Auto Glass and Mirror, we bevel custom glass and mirror right in our plant, so you buy factory direct. Come by our York County showroom or call us for a free in-home consultation. Danny's Auto Glass and Mirror. We are your glass company.
Welcome back, everybody, as we continue from New Hampshire International Speedway. TNN Motorsports Live with the Jiffy Lube 300. You're riding with Bobby Labonte. He is that distance down to the race leader, Jeff Gordon. It's about 0.3 of a second on the clock, about 6-8 car lengths at most. Looking rearward towards 3rd place, that's John Andretti. He is 0.8 of a second behind Jeff Gordon. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place runners, as you see right there, almost evenly spaced, one to the next, working through turns 3 and 4. We talked about Dale Jarrett before. There he is. He made a couple of pit stops at lap 80 and lap 81. And Ralph, when he restarted in 23rd, he's now picked up only a couple of spots, and he had that sheet metal problem. What's going on?
Well, Eli, the sheet metal came from contact down on pit road. He's pitted right behind Michael Waltrip's number 7. They made contact trying to exit the pit, and it bent in the left front fender of the car, the 88, a little bit. So they had to bring him back in. Brad Parrott had to use a handheld roller to get it wedged up underneath between the tire and the fender. They roll the car forward and back a little bit. That helps push the sheet metal away from that tire so he can have enough space for the tire to move in there properly. Now the 20 car of Tony Stewart, they made an air pressure adjustment on that machine. He was a little bit tight, so they loosened him up a little bit with a slight air pressure adjustment. Greg Zipadelli's been on the radio working back and forth with Tony. Tell him just hang in there, wait for it to come back around to you. Remember, we've been doing about 80 laps.
Trouble. Jerry Nadeau spins in turn number 2. The leader has taken the caution. We are under yellow. Lap number 98, second time today for the yellow to fly as Jerry Nadeau spins in turns 1 and 2.
And I wish I knew what happened there, behind every one of these wrecks today. He's been very lucky to skip by.
Next time that car or any car comes out on you like that.
And Jerry Nadeau's radio, which was propitiously, I believe, cut off just in time so as to not offend impressionable young ears such as mine. But Jerry Nadeau, you know, his career best finish was 8th at Talladega back in May, and he, as a native of Danbury, Connecticut, continues to call this his home racetrack, and he was hoping for a super run today, but may not be. But Jeff Gordon is still showing the way. A lot of guys still in the hunt, a third of the way in.
Okay, subcompact, over here. Yeah. Bring that little honey right here. Just ease that little baby in. Touch room. Now give her some gas.
Warning, objects may appear smaller once you've tried our burgers. Denny's Colossal Major League Burgers. Good food and lots of it, starting at $3.99.
Perfect.
My, what big portions we have.
Crew set. Everybody's ready. Let's go. Here it goes. Let's hit it.
Rock your way to the fastest finish.
You're good. You're fast. After lunch, we'll do the other side of the street.
Make sure you've got genuine sheetrock. USG Sheetrock brand products. Official marketing partner of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
I travel light. I can pack everything I need into a weekend.
Ford Ranger, built Ford tough.
While we could give you a lot of reasons to buy performance friction carbon metallic disc brake pads from AutoZone, perhaps the most compelling is this. They simply stop shorter than any brand we've ever tested. Performance friction carbon metallic. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Welcome back, everybody. Pit stops are the name of the game for some of the teams, many that have gone a lap down early. Forefront, you see the Jerry Nadeau car, and there you see others who are making their pit stops now. Why are we under caution? Well, it wasn't just because of Jerry Nadeau. See what the replay shows us.
Riding with Mark Martin down into turn 1, just in front. Kenny Wallace, watch him get in the back of Nadeau. Nadeau spins around. Now watch Mark Martin. Incredible. He misses him, goes very high on the racetrack, accelerates off turn 2.
Reflexes when you're not feeling well, that's something special right there. Joe Nemechek in the garage area. Steve, can they get back in?
Let's find out, Eli. Joe, you had a good start, but you've been in the garage for many laps. Can you get back out?
Oh, we'll get back out. You know, the guys are working hard to get our Bell-size Chevy fixed back up. Don't really know what happened there. I know Mark was right on my tail there at the end, and it got loose, and I just couldn't ever get it back. I was always behind, and I didn't think I was going to hit the wall, but we did. Just a tough day. I mean, we had a decent car. We just needed that first pit stop to loosen it up a little bit, and we would have been all right.
That's Joe Nemechek. Folks, check out NASCAR online if you'd like, before, during, or after the races, anytime during the week. NASCAR Online is your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass, and we'll be doing a chat session with NASCAR Online when this race is over today, about 30 minutes after we wrap up. Also, you can stop by any NASCAR Thunder Store location right now and pick up your free Thunder Club card, which gives our preferred customers discounts on future purchases. And don't forget to check out the new NASCAR Thunder website on country.com, or go to NASCARthunder.com for the latest NASCAR merchandise that's hot off the track. Restart lap 103. Jeff Gordon leads the Jiffy Lube 300.
Jeremy Mayfield in that number 12 car is a couple of laps down. He had pitted just before the caution flag.
Riding with Dave Blaney. Second start of the year.
Ward Burton on the outside in the 22 as they come off turn 4. Look at the crowd they have here today as you see the 21 car, the Wood Brother car, going down in the corner there.
Elliott Sadler in 31st. He's a lap down. Wally Dolan back on the outside. He's in 11th. Oh! You want to use a telestrator on that, buddy?
No.
Wally said, coming through and thanks for the room.
Yeah.
But you're talking about this place being full, buddy. Let me tell you what, ticket to the New Hampshire International Speedway Winston Cup races is about the toughest ticket that there is in all of New England. The races are traditionally sold out, and boy, I'll tell you, you can get yourself a lot of bribery done if you've got a couple extra tickets to one of these deals.
Hey, yesterday the Busch North and Modified doubleheader was sold out. They didn't open all the grandstand seats. They did not open the turn 3 and 4 grandstand, but everything else, the folks were shoehorned in here.
Those are some of the best races you're going to see anywhere. The modifieds in particular are just terrific on this racetrack.
You know, I was talking about Tony Stewart a while ago and how he was doing on the racetrack. His car is set up for long runs. I know they made some tire adjustments on the car. Doctor and I were looking at the left rear tire, and it looked like it's compressed way down, but all of them are. He's making a run now towards the front again, and I think as we go along, you'll see Tony Stewart catching the leader again.
There's the front 3. The separation is 1 6/10 seconds. You see NASCAR timing and scoring brought to you on the upper left of your screen by MCI OnNet, your one connection to the world. Dale Jarrett in 18th spot, car number 88, right there in the middle of the screen.
Now, he has to show a lot of patience right now. He has one of the quickest cars on the racetrack. You can see the back of the car jump out just a little bit. He got back in that power of that car. I told him this morning when they set the timing on that car, I said, I thought I heard it popping. They said, that's just raw power trying to get out of that thing.
Well, he's doing big picture racing, no question about that. He was running in 5th spot and did the pit stops, had the problem with the left front fender, had to go back in again, came out in 23rd spot, lost a whole bunch of positions. He has got to be sure that as he works his way through traffic, he does no more damage to that race car. Top 5s are what will win a championship, and that's what he's looking for, the 1999 Winston Cup Championship.
See how Rich Bickle has progressed, though Jarrett blows right by him. Jarrett with a 177-point lead atop the NASCAR Winston Cup standings. Riding with Bill Elliott now, looking back towards Dale Jarrett. Bill Elliott going a lap down early. Just joining us, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the garage. So too Joe Nemechek. Both crews still working on those race cars. They are not out of the event officially. Jarrett right there is 7.5 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, and you can see the car working extremely well. But, you know, with that much race car, when you get back in the pack, you have to be the caliber driver that Dale Jarrett is, not to go up there and maybe run in the back of a car because he won't get out of your way. They have a right to be out there, and he knows that. He'll use his time, move by on the straightaways, and do everything he can to get back up front and get track position again.
If you're curious about the injured Mark Martin, he is in 21st position right now, where we get a look at Mark Martin. He's 10.5 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. How's he feeling?
Well, Eli, the good news is, I talked to the crew, the good news is that he feels pretty good. He's not complaining of any pain, which is amazing. But the bad news is he's fighting a loose race car right now. So, again, he feels okay, but the car is fighting, or he is fighting, a loose race car.
If you're a Joe Nemechek fan, he's back on the track 33 laps down. They have just wrapped up the repairs.
Yeah, somebody's got into the back of Mark Martin's car. This is the camera takes a good picture of the blimp, but that's about all you can see out of it there as it looks skyward as it's been turned up because somebody else has got into the back of the Jarrett car.
Yep, somebody gave the old camera a shot there. Back up front, Bobby Labonte's closing in on Gordon.
Boy, sitting right there talking about Mark Martin, the college Jarrett car. I'm up to speed, huh?
Believe it or not, we're all human. I read that somewhere.
Look at this.
Here we go for the lead, Bobby Labonte. He had the lead from lap 20 through 63. and he'll reassume it here and bring Andretti along with him in the second.
Hey, John is having a terrific day today, isn't he? He has run up front all day long with Richard Petty's car.
So Andretti very much in the hunt, but Glenn, Bobby Labonte just blew by them all.
Yeah, Eli, I've been watching Bobby the last few laps, and when they made their pit stop around lap 80, the car had gotten a little loose. They were pretty concerned about it. They did put one round of bite in the car and tightened him up. Jimmy Maycar said the car should be good to go then and should be a little better on a long run. That's why he had let Tony Stewart get by him to begin with at the end of that run. The car had gotten a little loose. It's perfect now.
Problems, caution, big problems. Turn 2, Martin is there. Kenny Irwin is there. Steve Park is there.
And amazingly, everybody is back under power and moving away again.
At one point, there were about 6 or 7 cars going in all sorts of directions off the number 2 corner. And we are under caution, lap number 114. Caution for the 3rd time today. We'll come back with replays and sort out exactly what took place. Bobby Labonte still leads the Jiffy Lube 300 under yellow here on TNN Motorsports.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
This is a sport that brings families together. Most of the time, anyway.
You're mine today, buddy. That rooster's crowing a little early this morning, isn't it?
This is a sport where the hearts race every bit as fast as the cars. And this is a sport where some of its biggest fans are some of its smallest. This is NASCAR.
Why are there so many Hershey's Kisses in every bag? Because they go really fast. Little Hershey's Kisses, big chocolate taste.
In the racing business, the right hardware at the right time can make the difference between winning and losing.
Get the toolbox that rocks at True Value. It's just $24.95 when you spend $20 or more on your Visa card at participating True Value hardware stores.
Your True Value is the official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and homes everywhere.
It's the most dangerous 8 seconds on television. Hang on. It's championship bull riding from Tunica, Mississippi. Tonight at 9 Eastern and Pacific on TNN.
Welcome back, everybody. We are under caution here, and that man is the race leader. That is Dale Jarrett, who did not pit when everybody else on the lead lap came in at lap 115. Why are we under caution? Watch this.
Oh, Mark Martin got hit from behind by Kenny Irwin Jr.
Well, he dodged the first 2 crashes, couldn't dodge that one.
Watch it again here.
Oh,
there's the reason.
Rich Bickle.
Bickle got sideways. Martin checked up, and that's when Irwin tagged him. Not Kenny's fault, really. And look at guys going through the Tulies. See what Dave Blaney saw.
Watch Ernie Irvin here. He just makes a hard left that goes right by.
Steve Park spins. Now, all the leaders but Dale Jarrett elected to make pit stops. This is taped from moments ago when all the lead lap cars came in at lap 115. with the exception of Jarrett, who takes over the lead at that stage of the day. Now you see Gordon, of those who pitted, did get the lead of those who made the stop, but I guess most important now to Jarrett is those 5 bonus points.
Exactly right. He's now led a lap and got those bonus points, and they're so important.
All right, we're going back to green now.
All the way.
You ready? Green is green. Go.
Bill Elliott tried to get one of his laps back, couldn't do it in the McDonald's car.
Looked like everybody took just right side tires. This will be a good opportunity for him to test whether 2 tires will get the job done.
Yeah, remember the 2 tire story here a year ago, Tiregate?
Yeah.
Don't go there.
I think Ray Evernham and Jack Roush remember it as well.
That's where folks went into the pit lane, and now they came out. And again, remember the wild card in that is that Jarrett did not pit.
And Tony Stewart lost a few spots there also. He came in 4th and went out in 6th.
Look at Skinner, and 8th to 21st.
Yeah, and generally he has incredibly fast pit stops.
You know, a car that's really made a comeback is the 2 car of Wallace. He's really running quite well right now and has moved by a lot of race cars, but his crew has been incredible on pit stops also.
Glenn, some guys were quick out the pit lane, but others were not.
Yeah, Eli, Jeff Gordon's guys cranked off another great pit stop, but they only changed right side tires. Same thing for Bobby Labonte. They only put on rights. And I think that's one of the reasons that Dale Jarrett stayed out there, in addition to gaining the track position, was also because those guys were only going to take 2 tires. He didn't have as much to lose. Ralph?
Well, for Tony Stewart, it was 2 tires and no adjustments to the car. They're pretty happy with it.
That's Johnny Benson.
No yellow.
Oh, and others all get into it.
Yep, Jeff Bodine is in it.
Kenny Schrader. Schrader's got a lot of damage to his car. He's trying to make it back around the pit road, but a lot of smoke coming out of the back of his car.
Schrader crashed here last fall as well. This is going to be 2 in a row he's crashed.
That car will not be back in action today, I don't think. The right front corner has a lot of damage to it.
So Kenny Schrader with problems there. Johnny Benson spun as well. The beneficiary of the good news is Bill Elliott. He has gotten his lap back. He was able to get around the leaders, and Bill Elliott back on the lead lap in 24th spot.
Eli, something's wrong with the 33. The right side of that car has oil all over it. As you can see there, the wheels are very, very shiny. A little bit of fire under the right front there.
And there's a stream of oil. You see it right behind the car, folks, looking up towards the top of your screen. There's a stream of oil all the way down the pit lane. So this is not going to be the quickest of stops.
You can see him using the fire equipment on the right front corner of that race car.
Kenny Schrader always qualifies so well here at New Hampshire, but has yet to crank out the kind of finish that he and his team truly deserve. They have worked so hard for a great finish, just haven't had one. Now let's get another look at these wrecks.
Let's see what happens. 26 is Benson on the outside. 3 wide. Ward Burton was in the middle of that sandwich.
Kenny Wallace made contact with Benson as they started into that action there.
Looked like Skinner got a piece of it as well.
Yep, Jeffrey Bodine spun. And obviously we've documented Schrader, who finished 42nd here last August. Remember when he was involved in an accident at lap 175. Now he's involved in an accident on 121. So he may end up with that same result because there's a lot of work to be done on the Skoll car.
As the pilot flies through the night sky, the helmsman steers a course that is true. The landing signal officer checks the approach. The weather crew keeps an eye on the storm. The air traffic controller directs every move. The air boss orders a clear deck. The captain gives the final word. And the plane safely lands on board USS Enterprise. In the Navy, no journey is ever made alone. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Whenever you see racetracks around the world, you usually see Mobil 1 signs. So many people think that Mobil 1 synthetic is only for high-performance cars. Well, let me dispel that myth for you right now. Mobil 1 can improve the performance of almost any car while protecting the engine even under the most severe conditions. So for the same reason the race guys use Mobil 1, so should you.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Sleek, sophisticated, stylish, and yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Green, how are you? Tommy?
Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
Get low APR financing or $2,000 cash back on a new 99 Monte Carlo.
Flip log day 19. Traveling the circuits of NASCAR.
Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte. The drivers, the cars, the action, bumper to bumper, mono-y-mono at speeds of over 200 miles an hour, with us covering every heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping moment at the incredible speed of over
35 miles an hour, as fast as it goes.
What?
It's a good thing they keep going around in circles.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is being brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to be here at New Hampshire International Speedway. It's going to be a lengthy caution. They have had to put so much speedy dry down that they are bringing the jet blower out to blow all the excess speedy dry aside. Look at those folks who's having a special day. It's 70-degree temperature here in New Hampshire, and you see all that speedy dry. That's just too much to have on the racetrack, so they're going to bring the jet blower out to blow it aside so we can get ourselves back to a clean racetrack. While we have time, why don't we bring you the AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Here's Steve.
Hey, thanks, Eli. I know a lot of you fans at home know that at different racetracks they have different tire compounds, which is to say different hardnesses of the tires. Well, here in Loudon we have a very interesting situation. This is the right rear tire of Mark Martin. On the right side, this is the tire that they use at Phoenix. This is the left front for Mark Martin. On the left sides, they use the tire that they use at Richmond, and this is the only track on the Winston Cup surface where they use different compounds from different racetracks, and that happens right here at Loudon. And let me pay it off while we have some time, Eli. The 99 car of Jeff Burton, he stopped on lap 115, and he just took 2 tires, right sides. Mark Martin, his teammate, also stopped then. He took 4 tires, went out, and then came back in because he has some damage to the left front of the car. They had to pull the valence off, so don't know how that'll affect the handling of the number 6, but he has stopped twice here recently.
Mark is in 16th spot right now, and again, you see we're still away from getting this racetrack clean after Kenny Schrader put all that oil down. Here's the replay of what happened again before. See, it's one of those domino effect kind of situations.
Exactly. When Kenny Wallace got in there, let's just take a look here as we start off the corner. You can see it's hard to get on the brake hard enough to miss. These guys are going everywhere. Look at the oil on the racetrack already there as they start off.
Dave Blaney did a good job, though, wowing it right down and staying out of harm's way. We'll be seeing Dave Blaney here on TNN on Saturday night of this coming weekend at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Ray Evernham says, well, my guy's in second. We've got a lot of time to get to the front yet.
Hitting the road soon for a long summer vacation? Put Sears on your map first and head to the Summer Road Trip Tire Sale for terrific deals. Get a 100,000-mile treadwear warranty on most sizes of the new Road Handler Voyager LX tire. Right now, save 10 to 25% on the Road Handler Voyager LX. The introductory sale is on now, and it's only at Sears. So make sure your road trip starts here. Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
If these windows could talk, they wouldn't tell you how Fleetwood craftsmen build each home by hand, but about favorite family dinners. And they might not mention our solid steel frames, but they'd tell you about pillow fights and pajamas. Because at Fleetwood, we know the quality that counts most in a home is the quality of life inside. Fleetwood Homes, quality for life. Call 1-800-350-2300 for a Fleetwood Homes retailer near you.
After we ran the last practice last night, the car was just a little bit too tight, so we decided to change the right rear spring and make some small adjustments. Sorry.
The Myrtle Beach 250 Indy Saturday on TNN.
Available at GEX in Hampton and Newport News.
If you like Wendy's fresh stuffed pitas, now you'll like them even more because we folded the warm, soft pita bread a whole new way to keep all those delicious ingredients like tender pieces of whole chicken breast filet, crisp, fresh vegetables, and shredded cheese right where you want them. And now for something fresh and zesty, try our new Southwestern beef pita with seasoned ground beef, shredded cheddar, and chunky salsa.
So hold everything. Come to Wendy's and pick up a new pita today.
Welcome back, everybody. You see them trying to use the old-style street cleaner, but that does the good job here at dispersing all of that speedy dry, and that's what happens when you lose all the oil on the racetrack.
You want to know what a big vacuum cleaner looks like? You're looking at it right there. It sweeps it under and sucks it right up into the back of the truck there.
And there's still some more oil on the racetrack, so this caution is going to be continuing for quite a while. If you're just joining us on TNN Motorsports, we're happy to have you along. Here's what you've missed of the Magic Mile. Kenny Wallace and Sterling Marlin got together quickly. Joe Nemechek spun at lap number 77 for the first caution of the day. Dale Jarrett got into some traffic on the pit road, but he's recovered to run again. Mark Martin, meanwhile, had a good eyeball on what happened at lap 98 when Jerry Nadeau spun. And then at lap 114, Mark Martin, the recipient of a hit of Kenny Irwin, while the guy ahead of them, Rich Bickle, had checked up. And that's what brought about that caution flag at lap 114. Hey, folks, quick reminder, be sure to catch the NASCAR Rocks concert tour this summer. And here are just a few of the dates and locations where you can catch this unprecedented 30-city music tour and festival featuring the Allman Brothers Band. They celebrate their 30th anniversary this year. So be sure to stay tuned to TNN for more information as NASCAR Rocks America. Maybe you'll get to one of the concerts where Buddy Baker is the opening act. Then again, maybe you'll luck out if you won't.
Well, since you have the great singing voice, we'll wait and let the people decide someday.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lap 129 here at New Hampshire International Speedway. Fans from Canada and the United States looking on here at New Hampshire.
What's it like to bite into a Wendy's Classic half-pound double with cheese? Man, this is weird. Wendy's, it's Hamburger Blitz.
TNN salutes a century of motorsports with the Unser family. Bobby Unser began the tradition. At age 15, he raced modified stock cars and progressed to become one of the most versatile drivers in history. He was three-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 and the undisputed king of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Al Unser Sr. followed his brother into racing and became one of the most dominating open-wheel drivers ever. A four-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, he ranks first in points earned and second in miles driven. In 1985, Al Sr. edged his son by 1 point to win his third IndyCar championship. Al Unser Jr. has become the biggest money winner of all time. Now, the next generation of Unsers are tearing up the track. Along with Al Jr., Johnny, and Robbie Unser, the family domination of open-wheel racing is continuing. For more on the century of motorsports, log on to country.com, your personal source for all things country.
Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
I'll tell you, our hotel accommodations up here are beautiful, but the view out of the front window of the condo that our producer has on Lake Winnipesaukee was simply spectacular. We could not resist getting the camera going. That truly is Lake Winnipesaukee, one of the most famous resort areas up here in the New Hampshire area. Hey, folks, next Saturday night, TNN has another doubleheader for you. The NASCAR Cup Series and the Pennzoil World of Outlaws will be featured on a doubleheader. It all gets started with the Myrtle Beach 250, followed by the Mopar Kings Royal. That is next Saturday, starting at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, on TNN's Saturday night at the races. By the way, that's what it turned out to be yesterday in Nashville. Once you and Buddy and Dick, once you guys had to leave, they finally ran the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race last night, and our congratulations to Dennis Setzer. Got the win over Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Hensley, Joe Ruttman, and Jack Sprague. Ron Hornaday came home in 23rd. So the point standings now, Jack Sprague still atop the heap. He has a 65-point lead on Greg Biffle. Stacy Compton is in third, but they finally did get the Federated Auto Parts 250 in at Nashville.
And Dennis Setzer's done a great job this year. He won in Texas and then last night. That's pretty good. I tell you, he's a tremendous driver.
This long caution flag has definitely been a help to some of the teams that have been working down there on pit road. Schrader's car is now back out again. The 31 has made repeated stops, and the number 1 is Steve Park has been in and out. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, they have been in and out with Mike Skinner's car 8 times now this afternoon during this lengthy yellow. He had gotten together with Kenny Schrader during that incident. In fact, on one of the first stops, James Landon, the rear tire changer, got hit in the eye with a lug nut that came flying up the wrench. Those wrenches spin at over 10,000 RPMs, so those lug nuts come off there awful fast. He's to the care center to get some stitches. Glenn Jarrett?
Okay, Ralph, I'll move down to Dale Jarrett's pits, and some interesting strategy here. You know, DJ had to stay on the racetrack the last 2 pit stops. Well, now they've decided to come in. Robert Yates came down and pointed out to them, hey, guys, if we pit now, change all 4 tires in the caution, we're going to lose track position, but we can make it on only 1 more stop the rest of the way. So they're going to do a 4-tire change, put the fuel in the car. He was going to have to stop on about lap 170, 175 anyway. So it's just another gamble by the Robert Yates 88 team.
Hey, thanks, Glenn. Ken Schrader has been off the racetrack for many laps. His radiator has been changed. The oil cooler has been changed. Lots of bent sheet metal here. The crew took a lot of these pieces off, and as we said, there's the radiator that they replaced and the oil cooler, so heavy damage to Ken Schrader. Schrader told the team that he got hit from behind, but he does not know who did it. So anyways, he's lost many laps.
He is 11 laps down as the field does get the 1-to-go signal. By the way, the folks at Morgan McClure Racing asked us to mention their open house that's coming up on July the 17th from 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. Bobby Hamilton is going to be there signing autographs at the shop. He'll be there from 10:30 until 2. The Morgan McClure shops located off exit 22 of Interstate 81 in Abingdon, Virginia, and that's coming up on July the 17th. So if you're interested in seeing a NASCAR Winston Cup operation up close, that's a good chance to do so. Open house at Morgan McClure Racing.
And that's a real first-class operation at that. They do things right at Morgan McClure.
Getting set to go back to green in just about a half lap. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, John Andretti, then Rusty Wallace and Tony Stewart. You've got Dale Earnhardt restarting in 6th. Jeff Burton will restart 7th. He's up to 7th. Kyle Petty is 8th. Running well is Ricky Craven. He'll restart in 9th. And Ward Burton will restart in 10th. Taking him a little further back, Wally Dallenbach will go from 11th. Kenny Wallace 12th. Terry Labonte 13th. Good run first time out. Hutch Strickland, he's in 14th. And Mark Martin is now running 15th as we get set to go back to green. Just 16 laps shy of halfway.
Eli, they'll have to be extremely careful. Although they did a great job of cleaning up, there's still some oil dry out there. If you get out of the groove, I'm afraid you'd be in trouble right now.
That speedy drive basically up towards the wall. They did a great job of cleaning the racetrack.
You see the dust flying as they start down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Everybody kind of tippy-toeing their way through.
And Rusty Wallace just went right up to the wall.
Yep. got it rolled back down.
Just.
Jeff Gordon's off the pace.
And Andretti is the leader. Gordon had to woe it on down 2. Andretti takes over as the leader. So we have yet a new face atop the leaderboard after Jarrett led from 116 to 133. Gordon led 134 and 135. And now John Andretti, lap 136, showing the way. Matt Sterling has problems.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. He just got out of the groove a little bit, got up in that oil dry, lost control just for a moment, but was lucky enough to get it back straight. Talking about John Andretti, this car seems to run very, very well on flatter racetracks. In Phoenix, it was a winner with Bobby Hamilton driving. John Andretti this year in Martinsville, it seems that they really have the handle on the flatter track.
7th race he has led this year. And remember, too, he even led at Pocono for a bit, which is not totally flat, but certainly has flat track, short track, and all sorts of track characteristics to it. So John Andretti takes over as the new leader here in New Hampshire. Bobby Labonte's in second as Jimmy Spencer right behind him. Spencer is a lap down in the 23.
Andretti has just taken off. He's built himself a good, comfortable lead, almost a full second now.
Again, John Andretti took the lead. Let's check it out again and see what happened in lap 136. You see him there in the middle of the screen while Gordon was leading. Gordon goes wide, as you see Wallace did near the right of your screen. And while Gordon got it rowed down, Andretti said, I've got the lead, and he does.
Tony Stewart was way up there in the loose stuff, too.
Now Gordon and Wallace battling side by side for 7th and 8th. And look at Craven in the 50.
Ricky.
Oh, around goes Rusty.
Oh, my.
Into the wall, a hard hit. Caution, caution. Number 5 of the day, lap 140, Rusty Wallace in the wall in turn 4.
Wowee.
And this morning, Robin Pemberton said this car is virtually perfect. They thought they had a great chance to win today.
And I'll guarantee you that's one mad person driving that 2 car right there. As you can see him cranking it back up there, that was unspent fuel. The car didn't catch on fire. That was just coming out of the exhaust on that car.
Here comes everybody back to the line now, and a lot of those guys getting laps back. Spencer, Little, Rudd, Mayfield, and Marlin all getting laps back. And oh, look at old Rusty.
It's the wobbly wheel special.
Boy, he's had some terrible luck this year.
He has.
Glenn, he's coming in, and you can't see the right side, but it's ugly.
Yeah, Eli, he's heading down pit road. I was watching some of these other guys to see if they were going to come in, but I can see the right front tire wobbling, and it looks like the rear end has been broken loose too. The rear panhard bar must be broken because I can see the whole rear end of the car wobbling back and forth. So this is going to take a while. It's going to take some major repairs to get that car back in shape to run any kind of laps at speed.
You're exactly right. And the one reason they broke the track bar on the back of the car, it wouldn't even track down pit road.
Yeah, you know, Rusty's just seething in the seat.
Good thing we don't have an in-car microphone right now. Let's get another look at it.
Let's see what happened, guys. Figure out exactly who did what.
Okay, Rusty's on the outside of Jeff Gordon. You see Jeff Gordon right down on the bottom of the racetrack. Right there, there's contact between he and Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it might have been Craven, but I don't think it was. I think it was Gordon and Rusty.
And it don't take much there. Getting into the corner, the car is very light in the back. And just when they made contact, you can see Jeff all the way on the flat part of the racetrack trying to avoid. Now watch where he picks right there.
Yeah, sure does. Sure does.
Just not enough room.
Gordon and Rusty. That view right there showed it all.
Great
Look
camera
at Bickle. Look at Bickle going through the grass. Did you see that?
Yeah, he didn't know exactly where the 2 car might end up. And when you look up there, you have to make a decision. He went out through the grass there.
And remember on the pre-race, folks, we talked about Rusty. You had an average finish here of 4th. I mean, this guy had finished no worse than 7th in the first 5 races. He started that inaugural race in 33rd, then led 106 laps and won it. He was 4th and 8th here a year ago. Watch it again. Let's go back up to the aerial camera. We're running real time for you here.
Okay, Jeff Gordon's all the way under the yellow line. He sweeps out and catches the 2-car right in the left rear corner. Watch how hard the 2-car of Rusty Wallace hits the outside wall.
And remember last week, Buddy, you and I were talking about this as we ride with Mike Skinner. We were talking about the speed you carry even though it is a flat track and only a mile.
Yeah, and you don't have the bank here to scrub off speed, so when you get in trouble, you just go straight across the racetrack into the outside wall.
Boy, Mark Martin was right near that one, too. He is going to be exceptionally glad when this day is over, not just because he's running with a broken wrist and a banged-up knee, but he's just in the middle of everything he'd rather avoid.
You know, those replays show you that cars that are back in the pack like that, they really have to decide in a hurry where to go because you can't see where you're going for all the smoke off the cars as they spin around in front of you.
Don't you love it when they go to work on the hood with a sledgehammer? Those hoods fit. There's probably a 32nd of an inch between the hood and the fender when these races start. You get into a situation like this and the guy's hitting it with a 10-pound sledgehammer. Oh, boy, the body guys hate that.
Doctor, I could write you a book for the times I looked through the windshield and seen them hitting my hood like that.
Yeah, they hit it all the way to the Hall of Fame. That's exactly what's the story there. Well, we're at lap 144, 6 laps shy of halfway. We didn't have any cautions till lap 77 in the King. Says, what's going on? My guy's leading.
You hear something? Stampede. Must be the headphones.
Wild Wild West is coming to Amoco for the high-tech headphones inspired by the action-adventure Wild Wild West. Just $1.99 with 4 Phillips of Ultimate or Silver. But you'd better hurry. They're moving fast.
What are you listening to? Hip-hop?
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel. No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
It's not regular hair coloring. It's specially made to penetrate that coarse, hard-to-color gray. Simply brush in and in 5 minutes, rinse. Now gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
TNN's Hot Summer Nights gets even hotter Saturday. That's when the NASCAR Busch Grand National drivers light up the night in the Myrtle Beach 250. Then there's more high-speed action as the Pennzoil World of Outlaws crown their sprint car czar in the Mopar Kings Royal. It's 2 great races, 1 great night. It's Saturday night at the races. This Saturday starting at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. A part of Hot Summer Nights Month on TNN.
Over-the-road transit for this broadcast provided by Ryder Transportation Services. Welcome back to New Hampshire, everybody. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Dick Bergman, Glenn Jarrett, Steve Burns, and Ralph Shaheen. We have seen a little bit of everything here. A lot of pit stops taking place. Some guys now beginning to get on their own little pit stop schedule. We saw Dale Jarrett come in at lap 133. We saw John Andretti come in. A lot of these guys conceivably, well, Glenn, why don't you pick it up the way we're figuring it up here? Some of these guys might have a decided edge on some of the others.
Well, Eli, I think what Dale Jarrett did a while ago is dictating the rest of these guys. We thought we were going to see them all. They were all on the wall. But then remember, I told you Dale Jarrett could make it all the way on one more pit stop. These guys last pitted, the guys that stayed on the racetrack now, the leaders, last pitted around lap 114, 115. So, you know, Dale's only got about 5 laps of green flag racing on his tires. Everybody was set to come in, but now they've decided not to. So it's interesting how the strategy is going to play out. If they had all come in, Dale Jarrett and his group would have looked like a bunch of geniuses because they'd have moved right back up to the front, regained all that track position. Now that they didn't, they're just going to have to wait till another caution flag.
There's Dale Earnhardt. He's now running in 3rd, while Dale Jr. went out early with engine problems and ran only 44 laps. He has not returned. Jerry Nadeau just taking the Cartoon Network entry behind the wall, and you see a good bit of body work being done to the crew. Rusty Wallace, he's still on the pit lane in the Miller Lite Ford. Let's check the computer printout and see exactly how many laps he's lost. He's lost 7 already, Rusty has, and he's running in 40th position. But that's the leader, Andretti. Everybody else just waiting as we go back to green shortly in New Hampshire.
Honey!
Bill!
Think we need a new ceiling fan?
Lowe's knows how to help.
With hundreds of fashionable top-quality fans.
Including the new 1999 models from names like Hunter and Harbor Breeze.
We can even have your fan installed for you.
So with Lowe's guaranteed everyday low prices, making your room beautiful is a breeze. When it comes to ceiling fans, Lowe's knows.
You got feet that sweat for a living, and you get athlete's foot. Smart guys know comfort comes in yellow. New improved Desinex powder, it gets rid of the fungus and absorbs twice as much moisture as Tenactin. Desinex soothes while it cures for comfortable feet.
This man has found that a 1966 Mustang is a finicky little lady. She demands love, devotion, and a 4-barrel Holly carburetor. At Advanced Auto Parts, it's our job to see that she gets the carburetor and any other hard-to-find part overnight. As for the love and devotion, well, let's just say there are some things we won't get involved with.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving.
If you end up using anything but AC Delco parts in your car, who knows where you'll end up? AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
You know, I always recommend AC Delco automotive parts to all my customers. They're some of the most dependable you can buy. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 from New Hampshire is being brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Sonic, where we invite you to drive in for a change. And by AC Delco Automotive Parts. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it. Green flag is in the air, the restart. The next time by will technically be the halfway lap. The completion of lap number 150 is when they award the Gatorade Front Runner Award, and we have the winner of the TNN Rev It Up Sweepstakes. Andretti holds the advantage. He's got some lapped cars around him. Rudd. Here comes Earnhardt. He's in position to try and make a run right here.
Earnhardt gets good grip coming off the corner. John Andretti slips a little bit, but holds on to the lead.
So Andretti is the race leader. And folks, if you are entering the TNN Rev It Up Sweepstakes, make sure you jot down the name of John Andretti as the race leader at the halfway point. Just send your name, age, address, phone number, and the answer, John Andretti, on a postcard to TNN Rev It Up Sweepstakes, TNN Station, Post Office Box 3582, Southbury, Connecticut 06488. Or if you'd like, enter right now online at country.com.
Boy, the black hats were flying just a second ago as Earnhardt was trying to take the lead. Very quick in the part of the corner that I'm looking at, the center part. That's where you usually tell when a car is working pretty well. And right now, Dale Earnhardt is on the move.
Well, he can smell that lead when Earnhardt gets that close to the front in an automobile race. Hang on, because he is going to take the lead almost certainly. Strong run today by Dale Earnhardt.
Now, statistically, just because you lead it halfway doesn't mean you're going to take the win. This is the 18th race of the year. In 17 races this year, only 5 have been won by the driver leading it halfway.
Yeah, Dick Trickle up under the 3 car there. He had to yield just a little bit to Dick Trickle as he comes up under Earnhardt in the 91 car there.
That's that white and aqua number 91, Dick Trickle. And if you joined us late, he's got the Kodiak sponsorship from David Green's team on board as they failed to qualify.
Earnhardt just lost second.
Yeah, he's on the outside of the racetrack right now in the handle on that car is not as good when the tires get hot. It looks like he's losing ground now to the inside line.
Rusty Wallace back in the race. If you're keeping tabs, he's 13 laps down after that accident, but Rusty's on the track, and we're watching a great battle for second. And Kyle's in it too.
And just behind him, Tony Stewart, and then Jeff Burton just behind him, and Jeff Gordon.
3 different lines getting ready to go into that first turn. You don't think the veterans are sick of seeing that yellow stripe on the back of that number 20 car of Tony Stewart? I think there's a bunch of them just love to rip that yellow stripe off. They've seen way too much of it this year.
See the Napa Field summary. Brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
Eli, look at Ricky Craven in that 50 car there. He's going by Jeff Burton right in the middle part of the corner. What a great run for him today.
And Wally Dowd back in the top 10.
It is a great run for Ricky Craven. This is surely his home track. He's won the pole here twice for Winston Cup Racing. This is a newly formed team. Many of the people on this team have little experience working together to do their pit stops. John Munson, the crew chief, having a great run today, but not as good as this guy. John Andretti leading here at New Hampshire.
Rusty Wallace made 1 lap, and now he's parked it. He's taken the Miller Lite machine to the garage area. So Rusty joining Dale Earnhardt as the only retirees. Jerry Nadeau is some 12 laps down, but is just now returning to the wars as well. There you see Andretti putting Chad Little a lap down. There's Tony Stewart.
Yeah,
he's in 4th. How did he get there? Watch this. He just rocketed by Kyle.
Yes, he did.
Kyle Petty's always been aware of the people around him, so when he looked over and saw Tony Stewart was really much quicker, he didn't battle him at this point in the race. There had been 3 or 4 laps to go. He'd had to earn that spot.
He's going to have to earn the next spot if he's going to get by that black number 3.
23 cars on the lead lap right now.
Hello, Mr. Earnhardt.
23 cars on the lead lap. Let's see what Tony Stewart can do.
Bobby Labonte in the 18 there. See Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart just says, well, yeah, I'm the man too. Let's go at it.
So far, so good in this battle.
That's all for position, folks. That's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Labonte in the green is 2nd, and you got Trickle ahead of him, not on the lead lap, nor is Ricky Rudd in that bright orange car you saw, the tie ride. There goes Gordon around Kyle Petty.
Tony Stewart going by the 3 right now, trying to get by him. You know that he's going to fight back as they go off the corner, though. Tony Stewart was able to make the move.
The lead, well, it's about a half second with a little traffic around. John Andretti took the top spot at lap 136. Now leads it at 160.
Is there anything else, an only real thing to do? Anything else I need except cold and you? No, there's nothing else that'll do besides Coca-Cola. There's only you.
Play Coca-Cola Red Hot Summer Days, and you can win great prizes all summer, including a new Ford Explorer XLT Sport. Drink in the summer. Drink Coca-Cola.
This is the Firebird Trans Am. And it's very hungry. The muscle car lives. Firebird Trans Am by Pontiac.
Experience the sounds of NASCAR Rocks. This summer, join CBS as NASCAR hits the road with concerts featuring today's hottest performers. Feel the rush of NASCAR Rocks.
The Myrtle Beach 250, Saturday night on TNN.
Century Food Mart is your one stop for all the convenience store items you need. This week at Century, you'll get this deal. If you're hungry, get the Chili Dogs deal at Century. 2 all-beef Oscar Mayer hot dogs loaded with chili for only $1.89. And remember to fill up with Citgo gasoline at most Centuries. Citgo, when it counts. Come on into Century.
When it comes to getting your car or truck painted, whether it's time for a new look or due to an accident, it only makes sense to take your vehicle to an experienced, proven, reliable body shop. At High Tech Auto Body, Muller Lane, and Newport News, we've satisfied over 7,000 customers. We'd like to satisfy you too. Or you could do it yourself.
We do it all in High Tech. We're High Tech Auto Body.
Welcome back, everybody. The deficit now is just a car length and a half. Andretti in the 43, and here comes Tony Stewart. He had an idea as he tries to grab the lead away. And Chad Little now, again, a lap down. Looks like one of the bump drafts in the modified race here yesterday.
That won't be a real popular move if he happens to hook the King's car down the front straightaway and turns him, though, and him a lap down.
We're at lap 165, 15 laps past halfway. We told you before that Rusty Wallace had made a lap, then he took his car to the garage area after being involved in the accident with Jeff Gordon at lap 140. Steve Burns has made his way to the garage.
Eli, Rusty's sitting on the workbench here while the team works on the number 2 car. Rusty, what happened? Can you get back out?
Yeah, we're going to try to get back out there, working on it right now to try to replace some of the parts to get some more points. But it was just on a restart, top of the racetrack. It's super dirty. About 1 lane out there on those restarts. And Gordon got on a fender underneath me, and I got down into 3, tried to hold my line. I looked over, and I saw him down on the apron. Kept holding my line right there, and he stayed on the apron. And when I got off of 4, he was into my quarter panel. I was around, but it was a bad time to be racing because the track was so dirty, and I couldn't go any higher. If I went any higher, I was going to be out of the groove and up into the trash. So maybe what I should have done is just back out of the gas real early, let him go, get underneath him. I was just hoping he'd be a little bit more patient on the start. But, hey, that's racing. That's what happens.
Rusty Wallace in the garage area, joining Dale Earnhardt Jr. there as well. There you see Labonte, then the lap car of Chad Little, the 97. Earnhardt, the black number 3. He's running 4th.
Earnhardt's crew was talking about having trouble getting the car to cut through the corners yesterday, so they threw a whole bunch of changes at it this morning before the race, hoping it would work. Car is good, not perfect.
Tony Stewart in 2nd spot, got there a few laps ago with this pass against Bobby Labonte.
He looks to the inside, and it's nice to have a partner out there, a guy that's on your own team. He looked in the mirror, watched the 20 car much quicker, moved over, let him go.
That's been a favorite spot for Tony Stewart here today. We saw him get a move around Kyle Petty earlier, among others.
And the other thing, Tony Stewart is much quicker right now than any car out there. By the computer, he's showing himself about a tenth to 2/10 of a second quicker than anybody else out there on the racetrack now.
Tony with a 65-point lead in the Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year points. That lead is over Elliott Sadler. 135 points over Buckshot Jones, who's not here.
Well, I hope they've got a whole lot of extra Tony Stewart t-shirts, because this morning as I walked through the concession area behind the grandstand, there were more people standing at his trailer waving $20 bills in the air than anybody else's trailer. And after this run, well, I just hope they got a whole lot left.
Do you think?
Well, you know, Earnhardt's guys bring 2 to 3 trailers loaded with t-shirts and souvenirs to these things, and Stewart may have to do that too.
That'll be 11th spot changing hands right there. Martin yielding to Dale Jarrett. So Jarrett takes 11th, and Martin, with whom we're riding, now back to 12. Still yeoman's duty for Mark Martin.
Gutsy stuff. I tried to drive a race car one time. I broke my left wrist running at Beach Ridge Speedway in Maine. Came back the next week with my left wrist in a cast. I made it about 6 laps and said, no way I can do this. And I was out for about 6 weeks. And how Martin is doing this is absolutely beyond me. I tried it. I couldn't. Not at all.
See Sterling Marlin. Mark is, you know, and when the guy's beaten up like this, he has just found himself in the middle of all sorts of messes today.
Yeah.
Up front, the lead is dwindling.
It's down to car lengths now instead of seconds, and Tony Stewart's car is just absolutely perfect. But you understand one thing about a good race car. In between the steering wheel and the back of that seat has to be a pretty good object too. And Tony Stewart never gives up. Every lap he runs as hard as that car will run.
He led lap 64 through 76 earlier today.
First ever Winston Cup start at this racetrack for Tony Stewart. Look at the race he's having. Ran here last year in the Busch Series, finished second to Buckshot Jones, but this is his first ever in this weight and horsepower race car.
I watched him when he was in Sonoma. He ran in top 3 out there and never been on a road course in one of these cars. I mean, he's incredibly talented.